Good morning, degenerates. Welcome to another episode of Boring Crypto IO, the place where I read you the boring crypto news every morning, Monday through Friday, just so you don't have to. My name is not important, and I'm your host, guys. There's been violence in the market. There's been absolute violence. Guys, go ahead and smash the like button, turn the bell for notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into the small amount of news that is out there. Saylor begins selling $216 million in MicroStrategy stocks for more Bitcoin. Well, today he's getting a discount. We're going to talk about that shortly. Spot Bitcoin ETFs could be rejected if the SEC wants more time. Analysts. Well, yeah. If that's not the most obvious statement, I don't know. Guys, Bitcoin just absolutely fell through the floor. We're going to talk about that, but let's get to the market first, guys. Right now, current market cap sitting at 1.62 trillion, down 7.84%. Bitcoin 51.3% dominance. ETH 16.4% dominance. Gwei is absolutely through the roof. 100 people are selling. People are freaking out right now. If you missed the dip and you didn't get out, don't panic sell. It's the fact that people do this in crypto still blows my mind. But Gwei is at 123. Fear and greed should be at fear right now. It absolutely should be at fear. It's at 74. I'm trying to even debate whether I should even go through the top 100 right now, because literally 10 minutes ago, Bitcoin woke up and said, I'm choosing violence. Let's see what some of the I'm gonna look at the 1 hour and see who had the biggest pullbacks. XRP 10% pullback in the last hour. I threw about $1,000 at XRP on this dip, just being upfront with you guys, and I threw about $1,000 at Cardano as well. So 10% pullback on XRP, 8.24% pullback on Cardano, 7s, 8s. Anything bigger than 10 we're going to talk about. Arbitrum looking good though. Arbitrum didn't even flinch. Neither did Lido Dow. Guys, these are things you want to look at when Bitcoin does weird shit. This is strength. You want to see strength when Bitcoin's pulling back. That's good. 10% on Thor. C is up 3.26%. Or Psy. I don't know how to pronounce that. Eagle down 10.38. Theta down 11.16. $10.63 for Kava to the downside, guys. 10.82 for IOTA. 10.23 for Beam. 11.2 for Gala Games. 10.53 for Bonk. 11.36 for Terra Luna. Classic. Side note, I can't wait till I can breathe again, man. I'm not sick. I don't feel sick, but my nasal, not that you guys give a shit, but my nose and my mucus situation is just gross right now. I'm coughing and sneezing and nose blowing, all sorts of nastiness. Yeah, guys, there's your top 100. Let's just get to Bitcoin. Nasty. Absolutely nasty. Yeah, I was watching it on the 1 hour, and we got this blood diamond, and it just said, I am falling through the floor. I thought we were flagging. I was looking at this going, dude, this looks healthy as shit. Gonna range for 44,506 to 45,846. Put in a flag and maybe go back up to the upside. Absolutely not. Always be prepared for both potential moves. A move to the upside, a move to the downside. Here's what's crazy. RSI, yes, completely oversold. But money flow looks good still, which is really weird. So anyways, we broke through all levels of support. We bounced first off of the 42.516, and then we broke through that, and then we bounced off of 41.351, and now we were resting at the sorry guys, it's so hard to talk. Like I really feel like my nose and my throat are just full of slime. We originally were resting right inside of the bottom trend line of this ascending triangle that we've been in for quite some time. Now here's what's interesting. There was a CME gap over the holiday weekend, and I don't remember where it's at, but there are people saying that that's what this is. This was an attempt to fill that CME gap. If you're not familiar with CME gaps, what the urban legend is that anytime there's a CME gap, it will get filled, or like 90% of them get filled, or some shit like that. The CME gap is based on the Bitcoin price because it's a Monday through Friday market, and when the market closes on Friday and opens on Monday, Bitcoin is a 24-hour asset that changes price, etc., etc. So when it opens, if there's a gap, upside or downside, they don't like that in traditional markets, so they're going to do their best to try and fill those things because they've missed out on price action. And that's like the urban legend, guys. I don't know how I feel about it, but people are saying that's why this crashed. But there's nothing in the news. Outside of that, though, look, I want to say be prepared for these kinds of moves, especially in a bull market. We get 30 to 40% pullbacks 3 to 5 times every bull cycle. It is completely normal. That being said, it's never a bad idea to look at your levels and have either A, buy orders stacked, or when you see it, go, okay, this is a time to buy the dip, especially in an uptrend, which we are definitely in an uptrend. Hence why I deployed some capital. Getting up here, guys, I haven't bought anything, not bought. Is bought even a word? I haven't bought anything in quite some time because we just kept going up. Let's go, like look on the daily. Oh God, don't look at that. I need to clean up my chart so bad. But look at the daily, guys. We've just been going up for quite some time. So I haven't bought anything. This is the first time in a while that I've bought because of this giant dip. And with the bounce, I was like, okay. And XRP pulled back hard, like 11 or 12%. So I went in on it. But I want you guys to see something. What's still intact? Here's our bottom, y'all. Our trend is still intact. As well as, let's call that rip. Let's even call that rip to above 45. Let's call it a bull trap. Why not? We're still in a bullish continuation pattern. This could be this is the flag. This could be all sorts of stuff. This could be a flag. This could be a pennant. This could just be sideways movement, consolidation. Guys, trend is intact. Don't be fearful. Which is, let me show you something too. If you guys look, this is on the daily. If we start looking at, there's not a lot of news, guys, so we're just going to kind of talk about stuff to talk about chart stuff. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know my ass from holding around. I don't know how to trade. Whatever. Don't listen to me. But what I've noticed about the current price action of Bitcoin since we started our uptrend is just looking at it. What do you see? Okay, I'm going to give you guys some time to look at it and see what do you see. Normally in flag patterns, you move up, you move sideways, you move up, you move sideways, you move up, you move sideways, you move up, you move. That's a bullish flag pattern continuation. Here's what Bitcoin's been doing though. Up, flag, dip, rip, flag, dip, rip, flag, dip, rip, flag, dip, sideways, rip, flag. This is the first time that we've got, and this is like upward consolidation. It's weird. This is the first time we've got just sideways and up, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. Let's say we get that dip to 38, right? Which, again, it wouldn't surprise me. Right here. Old resistance into support to 38 before we rip again. I know I said yesterday that I think the 30s are done, but again, be prepared for it. Why not stack buy orders at 39.5, 39, just in case we get what we just had again? And it trust me, we dipped to 38. It would be very hard for me to not see that getting bought up very quickly, because there's a lot of people sidelined that have just been in fear of buying for quite some time with bear market PTSD. It would be very hard for me to not see that getting bought up very quickly. Anyway, but these are buying opportunities, in my opinion. I bought, just being honest with you guys. All right, let's go back to 4 hour. Here's my opinion. 4 hour. We're going to call this, even though it was cool to see that it was possible, we did it. We're just going to call this a bull trap. And I'm going to act like this triangle is still in play, guys. That's the play I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now. Could this ascending triangle break to the downside? Absolutely. But they have a larger probability of breaking to the upside. Like, I think it's like 68% upside momentum. So that's Bitcoin, guys. Outside of that, nothing's really changed. Maybe we'll get some news later to see potentially why this dip. Maybe there's some institutional shit that we don't know about. Maybe they've denied or pushed back the ETF. Whatever. The reality is the ETF ain't going to change anything. We're still going to get the halving. We're still going to get a bull cycle, guys. Don't trip. Bitcoin ain't going to zero. Trust me. Let me get rid of this stuff. See. That 42516 seems to be holding really well too, because that's right where it got bought up to. Oh, I'm drawing lines still. So that's what I'd keep my eye on, guys. The bottom of this triangle, of this ascending triangle, is what I'd be watching. If we lose this and put in a candle close or two below this trend line, that's when I'd start, not concerned, but I almost said be concerned. I would be prepared for a larger dip. 41,351 still holding very well as support. So with that being said, guys, I'm looking to see if there's any other really big dips worth buying. Not on stuff I'm looking at. 7s, 8s, pretty standard. But that 12%, woo, yeah boy, let's go. Bought that shit up real quick. All right, guys, on to the news. All right, Michael Saylor began selling $216 million in MicroStrategy stocks for more Bitcoin. Saylor previously said the move would allow him to address his personal obligations and, of course, buy more Bitcoin. MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor has begun a 4-month process of selling $260 million worth of his shares in his firm, MicroStrategy, previously stating part of it would be used to buy more Bitcoin. In a January 2nd filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, Saylor disclosed that he had already started selling his 315,000 stock options awards first granted to him on April of 2014. The award stock options expire on April 30th of 2024. Sorry, guys. Ugh. According to the filing, Saylor began the process on January 2nd, selling his first tranche of 5,000 shares. In MicroStrategy's third quarter earnings call on November 2nd, Saylor said he planned to sell 5,000 MSTR shares daily for the next 4 months, which will go into addressing personal obligations, increasing the amount of Bitcoin he owns. Exercising this option will allow me to address personal obligations as well as acquire additional Bitcoin to my personal account, Saylor said on the call. He added that his stake in the company's equity remains significant despite his personal sales. According to a November 1st Q-10 filing with the SEC, Saylor can sell a maximum of 400,000 shares of his vested options between January 2nd and April 26th of this year. While Bitcoin enjoyed an impressive 170% rally from the start of last year, MicroStrategy has outperformed the asset by more than double, gaining 411% over the course of the last year per TradingView data. On December 27th, MicroStrategy purchased an additional 14,620 Bitcoin for $615 million. The purchase saw MicroStrategy's total Bitcoin holding grow to a staggering 189,150 Bitcoin, worth $8.5 billion at the current prices. It's a lot less right now. This article was had been written before that last dip we just got. Okay. Spot Bitcoin ETF could be rejected if the SEC wants more time. Yeah. Well, of course. Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balkunas says while it's unlikely, there's still a slim chance that the SEC could hand down the rug pull of a decade. Again, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal if it gets denied. While chances are slim, a spot Bitcoin ETF being rejected this month will most likely be due to the Securities and Exchange Commission wanting quote-unquote more time rather than a flat-out rejection, says Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balkunas. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Balkunas says while he and fellow ETF analyst James Mr. S, continue to peg a 90% chance of approval by January 10th, they haven't raised the odds past the number largely due to this concern. I would say if we don't see it in the next 2 weeks, it's more because they need more time. We haven't gone further than 90% because of possibility. I don't think we're going to see a full-out denial, said Balkunas, noting that the 10% chance includes both scenarios. However, Balkunas says the amount of time and effort put into the SEC and Bitcoin ETF issuers means it's unlikely that a Bitcoin ETF would be rejected outright at the last moment. Everybody put in a lot of work in this, especially over the holidays. A statistic might not even be strong enough of a word for it, I'm assuming, if they decided to deny the spot ETFs. Vettel Lund, an analyst from crypto research firm K33 Research, offered a similar outlook to Balkunas, but pinned the chances of an ETF rejection at just 5% in January 2nd market report. Meanwhile, Balkunas believes that should the SEC issue an outright denial, fund issuers might follow in the footsteps of crypto asset manager Grayscale and launch a separate lawsuit against the regulator. Exactly. And I don't think they want that. People have spent too much money and tried too hard to give up now, so yeah, it would not be over. I don't think there'd even be a cooling off period this time. I think there'd be hell, said Balkunas. I agree. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Public comments have continued to be submitted to the SEC's request for feedback on filings, with 2 as recent as January 2nd requesting the ETFs be rejected outright. I'm a software engineer, technologically professional in the U.S. I write to the SEC with a request to reject all Bitcoin spot ETF applications to support because there's a lot of non-compliance. Who fucking wrote this shit? Because there's a lot of non-compliance by companies associated with these types of business. Further, among our negative someone paid some douchebag to write this. Further, among the negative impacts of these cryptocurrencies related instruments is of empowering authoritarian regimes while undermining the democratic values. Who's Anurag? Guys, let me tell you something straight up. When you read shit like this is like a bait and switch. It's complete opposite. Bitcoin and crypto do the exact opposite of what this article or what this paragraph is saying. It gives you power of your own money. What's wrong with that? That is the most democratic thing ever. These guys are just... This is for the noobs, for people who don't understand crypto. They read this and go, oh, okay, Mr. Master Government, you know more than me. Fucking nonsense. The most recent letter to the SEC requests that a spot Bitcoin ETF be rejected. Source, SEC. Of course. The most recent letter claimed that Bitcoin's Bitcoin's decentralized nature and ability to circumvent traditional financial channels could make it attractive to authoritarian regimes. God, I can't handle this shit no more. Just a flat out bullshit lying. What do you think a bank does? What do you think the Fed is? Guys, we are slaves to the Fed, to the dollar. They took us off the gold standard. There's nothing backing that dollar. They print that bitch to fucking oblivion. Jesus Christ, these people. Anyway, that's the article. That actually made me really upset. All right, guys. Let's look at Bitcoin one last time. Let's go to lower time frames. 1 hour, bouncing perfectly off of that 42,516. That's a hell of a line right there, guys. Boy. Now, will it hold? Traditional markets haven't even opened up yet. I think everybody's waiting to see what that's going to look like. But welcome to the crypto bloodbath if you are new here. It's pretty normal, guys. Don't forget, it moved up just as fast. It can move down just as fast. We all don't act surprised when this happens, but when this happens, a lot of people act surprised. Let me show you something. Happened right there. Kind of happened here. Happened right there. Oh, happened right there. Oh, happened right there. What else we got? Oh, happened right there. I mean, look at this nonsense. Oh, happened right there. Got bought right back up in a day. Here's what's interesting about this stuff too, guys. We get so focused on the short time frames. That's why this triangle I have is so big. This could be eaten up in the next 2 days. And it's like nothing ever happened. Don't freak out, guys. This is normal. All right. That's all I've got for you guys. If you do enjoy the content I provide for you here every morning on Boring Crypto IO, please, by all means, y'all, subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell for notifications. Watch the videos. Share the videos on all your social platforms, guys. Please, share. Above all, if there's anything you can do to help spread the adoption of crypto and help grow the channel, guys, please like the videos. It's easy. It's free. Yeah. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Outside of that, guys, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Don't freak out. This is normal. All right, I'm out of here.